Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Brooklyn Technical High School Virtual College Fair. Thank you so much for being here. We are really excited. Before we get started, we do have a few housekeeping items to note. First, if you have any questions at all, feel free to submit those through the Q&A button. You're more than welcome to type in your questions to the presenters at any time. They are here, ready and available to answer your questions. Your camera and microphone are off. You are muted and your video is off. The panelists can't see or hear you. There are more sessions happening. This is one of many college presentations being offered tonight, so feel free to sign up for more at the same place where you registered for this one. And lastly, all sessions are being recorded and will be available at strivescan.com/Brooklyn Tech. We are currently in session B5, where my mouse is circling at the moment. And this is also the same order of presentations. So without further ado, I'll get out of the way and we'll kick it off with our first representative from University of Chicago.
Hi there, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us here today. My name is Maddie Jacobs, and I'm a Senior Assistant Director of Admissions at the University of Chicago. And here just to tell you a little bit about this amazing institution that I work for. So we've been around since 1890, and we were founded as a liberal arts institution to exist within a larger research university. So that really gives our students the best of both worlds in so many different ways. We have about 7,000 undergraduate students within our experience, but about 10,000 graduate students as well. Students come from all 50 states and over 100 different countries to the University of Chicago, and they get the access to their teachers, the small class sizes, and the breadth of a liberal arts curriculum with all of the resources and excitement of a large research institution as well. So now to talk just a little bit about the academic experience at the University of Chicago and what that looks like across your 4 years. The academic experience at U-Chicago is broken down into 3 distinct and equal parts. The first piece is going to be our very famous core curriculum. Second piece is going to be your major, and the third is going to be the different electives that you take at U-Chicago. So to begin with that core curriculum, because if there truly is one thing that you know about the University of Chicago, it really should be our core curriculum. It actually is that important. It's been around since 1890 when the institution was first founded. Our core curriculum is a series of integrated courses across 8 different academic disciplines that you can see listed here that are meant to provide you with a foundation and a set of skills to be necessary in whatever you choose to pursue as a major or area of study thereafter. These are also courses that are hallmarked by their small discussion-based style. Our core classes are capped at 19 students. And the average class size at U-Chicago, with about 85% of classes or more, have class sizes of 25 students or fewer. But these core classes are also hallmarked by their use of original text and their Socratic approach to the learning process. And this will be primarily your first and a good amount of your second year at the University of Chicago. That second piece of your experience is going to be your major. We have over 100 different areas of study, but 52 distinct majors in one single undergraduate college. Some of the most popular majors at the University of Chicago are economics, political science, public policy, history, biology, math, and computer science. About 40% of students do double major as well, and you do have until the end of your third year to declare your major and what you really want to do. Finally, the last piece of your academic experience is going to be the different electives that you take at the University of Chicago. Electives exist to give you even more flexibility and even more choice than you already have. So some students do use them to declare that double major, to declare a minor, to maybe learn a new language, of which we have over 65 to choose from, or just to take a class in something really different and really interesting that they never thought would be made available to them. All right, and so now that we have an idea of what the academic experience is like across your 4 years, let's talk a little bit about what that looks like outside of the classroom and how we prepare for your time after U-Chicago. Before we jump into some of that career advancement information, I do just want to talk a little bit more about the research experience that students have access to. So I began the presentation by mentioning that we are that liberal arts college that was founded to exist within a large research institution. And that is a big part of the undergraduate experience in particular. About 80% of undergraduate students do engage in research during their time at UChicago, many beginning as early as their first year and across all different kinds of disciplines. The University of Chicago also has access to over 160 different research centers and is one of only 2 US institutions that have partnerships with national laboratories, Argonne and Fermi. Secondly, within our career advancement office, we have the single largest undergraduate paid internship program in America. So we've provided about 2,700 undergraduate internship program or internship opportunities to students across the past couple of years. And these are substantive paid internships across over 800 different organizations. Additionally, our Office of Career Advancement does a really fantastic job of providing different pre-professional programs in all different kinds of areas that you see listed here, like business, education, law, that give you everything that a separate major in these different areas would provide you, but you still get to keep your liberal arts experience. Now, moving on to a little bit more about the community experience at the University of Chicago and what it looks like to be a part of this group of people and this community. Probably the cornerstone of the community experience at UChicago is our housing system. Students in housing are representative of the diversity of campus. We have 48 houses across 7 different residential halls, typically 60 to 100 students per house. Houses have their own unique names, colors, mascots, traditions, et cetera, that make them really exciting places to live for your 4 years. Your house is, and your housing experience is guaranteed for your 4 years at UChicago, but required for your first 2. Additionally, we have over 450 different registered student organizations or clubs available for you at the University of Chicago, ranging in everything from the institution's largest RSO, University Theater, which puts on about 450 different puts on about 35 different completely student-run productions every single year, to Model UN, Quiz Bowl, or Debate, which are all nationally ranked, to some of our smaller and more niche organizations like our Grill Club or our Organization of Lawn Game Enthusiasts. If you want to know more, please feel free to use that Q&A to let me know, but otherwise, we will hope to see you soon. Thank you so much.
Awesome, thank you. The next representative is from Rochester Institute of Technology.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Mark Embledge. I'm Assistant Director of Undergraduate Admissions at Rochester Institute of Technology. A lot of information to get through about RIT in a short period of time.
You're on mute. And also, do you mind putting your slide in full screen mode?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Sorry about that. We'll try that again. So again, my name is Mark Embledge. I'm Assistant Director of Undergraduate Admissions at RIT. And there's a lot to get through in a short period of time, but I'll try to give you some of the highlights about our school. We are located in a suburban setting about 6 miles south of downtown Rochester in upstate New York. There are 9 colleges that make up the university. If you include our international campuses, we enroll more than 19,000 students, making us one of the largest private universities in the country. We have more than 16,600 on our campus, of which almost 13,700 are undergraduates. We have more than 2,600 international students, 2,000 students who identify as part of the African American, Latin American, or Native American populations. And we have about 1,000 students on campus who are deaf or hard of hearing. And that's not random. One of our 9 colleges is the National Technical Institute for the Deaf. Our students come from all 50 states and 90 countries. Our average class size is only 22 students, and our student faculty ratio is 13:1. As I mentioned, we have 9 colleges on our campus, and even though we are an institute of technology, we really are a comprehensive university. Our colleges include both STEM-based and non-STEM-based programs. We have art and design, business, computing, engineering technology, liberal arts, sciences, health sciences, and again, NTID. So a lot of different directions you can go. We offer more than 90 degree programs and now have, actually the slide should be updated, more than 50 accelerated dual degree programs that we offer. And this year, for the first time, we started inviting some of our admitted freshmen into these bachelor master's programs. One of the key things to know about RIT is that we're very career oriented. We want to prepare you for your career. And the best way we know how to do that is through various forms of experiential learning, from study abroad to capstone projects and things like that. But what we're best known for, undergraduate research also, what we're best known for though is our co-op program. Co-ops are internships, but they're internships that are full-time, meaning you're not trying to balance work and school, and they are paid professional work experiences. And at RIT, we've been offering co-ops for more than 100 years. So this slide shows how co-ops might be integrated into a 5-year program like engineering or a 4-year program like business. We don't just save the co-ops until the end of your program. We really try to integrate them so that you learn something and then apply it in a professional work setting, and then come back to campus and learn something new, and then go out and do another co-op. Co-ops can be done all over the world. You're not limited to Rochester or even to the United States. Our students go all over the world with these co-ops. We also have other forms of experiential learning like undergraduate research, global opportunities. We have campuses in China, Croatia, Kosovo, and Dubai, and those open up opportunities, but so do traditional study abroad programs and faculty-led programs. We also have a lot of opportunities for innovation and entrepreneurship. In fact, tomorrow evening is our annual Tiger Tank competition, which is our version of the TV show Shark Tank, and that's always a fun event to go to. We also have a lot of things going on campus outside of the classrooms. We have more than 300 active clubs putting on hundreds of events on campus each year. We have athletics, we have performing arts, we have community service groups, pre-professional organizations, and a lot of other clubs and activities to choose from, as well as several campus traditions. When you apply to RIT, you typically have 3 paths you can go down. The most common path is the first one listed here, applying directly to a major. I want to major in computer science. I want to major in accounting. I want to major in international business or packaging science, whatever it might be. You apply directly to that major. However, maybe you have an idea of which college at RIT you want. Maybe you know you want to go into computing or go into business or go into liberal arts, but you're not sure which major you want. Every college, almost every college at RIT offers their own exploration option for the first year, which gets you into that college, but allows you to use that first year to explore your options. The third option is a broader undeclared option for students who aren't even sure which college at RIT they want, and that's called the University Exploration Program. So these exploration programs in both the second column and the third column are basically 1-year programs to help you reach a point where you can make a more informed, educated decision about what major you want. All right, I'm sure I'm pretty close to being out of time, but here is my contact information. If you have any follow-up questions for me about RIT, about our co-op program, or anything else, please let me know. Thank you.
Very helpful information. Thank you. Just a friendly reminder that if you have any questions at all, to feel free to submit those through the Q&A. Our representatives are here and available to answer any questions you have. And if you have a specific question, to also note the school name. Our next representative is from Quinnipiac University.
Hi, everyone. Hello, my name is Kayla Dale. I am with Quinnipiac University in Connecticut. We are located in Hamden, Connecticut, about 15 minutes outside the city of New Haven, about 2.5 hours away from Brooklyn, New York. Quinnipiac University is made up of 3 campuses. Our campus where you'll probably visit if you happen to come visit us over the summer, and where you'll live as a first and second year student is our Mount Carmel campus. This is home to our undergraduate students. We have our Carl Henson Student Center on this campus, as well as our Arnold Bernard Library and our Athletic Center. About a mile down the road, we have our York Hill campus. This is home to our upperclassmen. So juniors and seniors live on York Hill. We also have our Rocky Top Students Center and our sporting arena for ice hockey and basketball. Extremely picturesque campus, really great scenery as well. And it's strictly residential. We don't have any academic classes on that campus as of right now. And our North Haven campus is our Center for Medicine, Nursing, and Health Science Studies. Our law school and school of education is also located on that campus. This one is about 10 to 12 minutes away from Mount Carmel. Great facilities here if you're interested in the health sciences, nursing, occupational therapy, physical therapy, physician assistant, any programs like that, then you definitely want to make sure when you come down to the university that you visit the North Haven campus and see those technologies that we have to offer. So some things you should know about Quinnipiac is that we're a medium-sized institution. So we have 10,000 students, 7,000 undergraduate students, 3,000 graduate students in a 16-to-1 ratio. So for every 16 students, there's one professor. This is great because it calls for a very intimate classroom setting. You are never going to be taught by a graduate assistant or a teaching assistant. It's going to be your professor 100% of the time. So it's great when you're looking for a school that is not too large. We like to use that analogy that we're big enough for you to meet new people every day, but also small enough for you to bump into familiar faces. So outside of the classroom, we have over 140 clubs and organizations available to students. In the fall, we have something that is called the Involvement Fair, and it's a great way for incoming students to find out what may be their niche, so different clubs and organizations that they may want to join. We have 21 Division I sports. We are a big ice hockey school. However, we do have men and women basketball, lacrosse, field hockey, a nice selection of other sports as well. We have club sports as well as intramurals. So if you're not going to play on the Division I level, you can definitely try out for club sports. And then we have pre-professional clubs. So if you're a business student or a nursing student or an education major, you have clubs that are available pertaining to your major. We have Greek life on campus as well. However, they're community service based. We do not have any housing for those students. We also have local and global community service opportunities. So if you wanted to study abroad, or if you wanted to do something that was domestic, we do have a program that is called QU in LA, which allows students to go to Los Angeles for a semester and intern in one of the major industries there. So mostly communication students do take advantage of that opportunity. So at Quinnipiac, we have 58 majors, 48 minors, and 20 dual degree programs. So what a dual degree program means is that you're able to get your undergraduate degree and master's in an expedited amount of time. So you are able to do the undergraduate degree in 3 years and then 1 year of your master's. We have 9 different schools at Quinnipiac. We have a College of Arts and Sciences, a School of Business, a School of Communications, a School of Education, a School of Engineering, a School of Health Sciences, a School of Law, School of Nursing, and our Frank H. Netter, MD, a School of Medicine. So I'm not going to go through all of the dual degree programs. However, some of our popular ones are within our School of Business and School of Communications, and those specialty ones in the School of Health Science Studies. If you have questions, please leave them in the chat and I'll be sure to answer them. Now, some things that you should know about Quinnipiac is that we have very distinct deadlines. So our early decision deadline is November 1st. And I know this information is very early for you, but you can always check back to the website. But if you are taking notes, great to have it on your radar. Our deadline for early action 1 is November 15th. Our deadline for early action 2 is January 1. And for regular admission, it is February 1. And if you look at our notification dates, students are hearing back fairly early, depending on when they apply. That is my presentation. Some things that I did not mention because I wanted to make sure that I was being timely is when you are applying to Quinnipiac, you want to make sure that you are applying either through the common application or the Quinnipiac application, whichever one you want. It's entirely up to you. We look for 2 to 3 letters of recommendations, a college essay, and a transcript from each high school that you have attended. And then we are also test optional for most majors. However, outside of the physician assistant program and the 3+3 program in our law school, we are still requiring test scores for those programs, but everything else you can go test optional. Thank you.
Thank you. We really appreciate it. The next representative is from Clark University.
There we go. Hi, everybody. My name is Lydia Mann, and I'm the Director of Admissions Outreach at Clark. First, I just want to give you a general overview of who Clark is. We're actually one of the smallest research universities in the country. And while we are a research university with opportunities for research as early as your first year, we do approach our curriculum with a liberal arts lens. And I'll talk a little bit more about that in a second. We're located in Worcester, Massachusetts, which is the second largest city in New England after Boston and growing really, really quickly. If you're interested in urban development, growth patterns for cities, urban planning, anything like that, it's a really great place to be right now. So being the smallest, we're 2,200 undergraduates, 800 graduate students on campus coming from 40 some odd states, 27 countries. About 15% of our students are international. 28% of our students identify as students of color. All different majors. You can change your mind a lot while you're at Clark up until the end of your sophomore year. 65% of our students are on some kind of need-based financial aid. 20% of our students are Pell eligible. So we really want to make this education available to all students who are interested. And really importantly, what got discovered at Clark as a research university? You can count modern rocketry, birth control, and wind chill, all as discoveries researched here on campus. Our alums are great. They founded the Blue Man Group. You might know Padma from Top Chef. She's a Clarkie, and Ron Shake, who started Panera Bread. So I mentioned that I would talk about our curriculum a little bit. There are 4 basic pillars to it: the first year intensive, the program of liberal studies, problems of practice courses, and a capstone. The first year intensive is your first year seminar, 15 students, discussion-based class. Importantly, that instructor serves as your first advisor at Clark. So they're going to know you both for coffees and walking around campus, but also how you learn and be able to give you really good advice based on the kind of student you are. The program of liberal studies asks you to be a right brain and a left brain thinker, creative and analytical. The best problem solvers are people who can approach the problem from multiple points of view. And this program makes sure that you can do that. You have to take a class in each one of the subject areas that you see listed. Problems of practice courses are truly the reason I came to Clark. I was a high school counselor before coming to Clark, working with students through the college process. These courses, your faculty member commits to learning happening outside of the classroom. So I mentioned that Worcester is a big city. 20% of our population is born outside of the United States. In problems of practice courses, if you're in a French class, you might actually work with Senegalese refugees through the immigration process, translating court documents and actually going to court and going through that immigration hearing with them. And then the LEAP capstone, you're gonna have a lot of choice in that one. You can do research, you can take a capstone class, you can somehow work in an internship. We just want you to have some culminating experience in your major. If we were at a college fair and you asked me what's unique about Clark, I would say the 5th year accelerated masters. Like many of the schools we've heard from, it's a way to get your bachelor's degree and your master's degree in an accelerated timeline. But we are one of only 2 schools in the entire country where that master's degree is free. So you are going to graduate from Clark in 4 years. You're going to walk the stage with your friends. Your family's going to be there. And then we ask you to stay for a 5th consecutive year, totally tuition free. It's just something we believe in doing. And so any one of those subject areas that you see on your screen is one of the programs that you can participate in. And 1 in 3 of our students do this, so it's widely accessed. Student life on campus, 17 NCAA Division III teams. Women's lacrosse is the newest. You have to live on campus in your 1st and 2nd year. You can choose after that. We've got over 140 clubs and organizations right now, and that grows every year. Everything from a beekeeping club where you actually learn how to keep bees, to a nationally ranked Model UN team. The last in-person competition that they went to was international, and they placed 1st before the pandemic began. There is no Greek life at Clark, and that is by design. Our clubs and orgs really rule the social scene. So if you want to be involved in theater as a non-theater major, it's very possible. And if you want to play, if you want to run cross country, you're pretty much on the team. Worcester is also a great place to explore. It's a growing city. We've got the Red Sox feeder team that just came to town. They're called the Woo Sox. A growing number of restaurants in the city, are really international set of places you can choose from for eating. It's still affordable for college students. And as a Clark student, you would get a free pass to the Worcester Art Museum. So you can go there as much as you want. And then finally, here's some nuts and bolts. You'll see some application deadlines on the screen, as well as what's required for Clark. Really importantly, we don't require standardized tests. We didn't before the pandemic, we won't afterwards, and this includes merit aid as well. So if you're interested in scholarships, we still don't need to see your test scores. They're really not a part of our process. And the types of students who do well at Clark are people who like to get involved in the community, who want that hands-on approach to learning, and who are not afraid to take risks. So maybe you took a harder class in high school and you got a B instead of an A. That looks good to us because we want to see that you challenged yourself, tried, got excited about something. So we really try to be a student-centered admissions process. I will drop my email in the chat just in case you have any follow-up questions, but I thank you for your time this evening.
Great, thank you. Just another friendly reminder that if you have any questions at all, to feel free to submit those using the Q&A function. Any question at all about the college application process, or even a question about a specific school, you're more than welcome to submit a question, but we just encourage you to include the school name. The next representative is from St. Joseph's University.
Thank you, Catherine. So my name is Brad Simon. I serve as an assistant director of undergraduate admission at St. Joseph's University, and I will be working directly with all of your families. So from start to finish, I will be your primary point person to support you through this endeavor and help you through all the questions and myths that may exist around the search. St. Joseph's is a Jesuit Catholic institution founded in 1851. So our ties are heavy on lifelong learning and social justice, the impact you can make on the world. We welcome believers of all forms, and we do not expect that everybody believe in the same way, and actually encourage that you come up with your own belief system, but every student will take some time to learn about the Jesuit ties we have here. And those are interwoven throughout the entire process, just like I will be with you from start to finish, so will those Jesuit ties. So the first is cura personalis, and care for the whole being. So we do see you as a very dynamic person, so we want to make sure we offer a wealth of opportunity for you to explore your passions and try new experiences. In terms of our population, we serve about 4,500 undergraduates, and as a collective, we're still under 8,000 individuals within our graduate, doctoral students, and our undergrads. In the undergraduates, we represent all 50 states as well as 50 nations. That fizzles down into an average class size of 23. So you're going to have a great opportunity to learn not just from your faculty who hold the terminal degree in their field, but your peers as well. In some of these intro courses, we have supplemental instruction. So a junior or senior will go to class with you, and they will hold review sessions twice throughout the week to help support you. And that's all in addition to the access you have to faculty office hours. We are situated on a beautiful 125-acre campus right in the corner of Philadelphia, spilling out over the city limit into Montgomery County. So while we are a Philadelphia city school, we are also a Philadelphia suburban school. Access into downtown life is just one train stop away. It takes just a few minutes, and we will help you get acclimated to Philadelphia. So there's a lot in store just off our campus between internships, cooperative education, research, service work, and cultural experiences. So let's not forget about the great concerts, the amazing professional sports teams and artists that come through, and of course, cheesesteaks and water ice and all the great food that there is in store in downtown Philadelphia. When it comes to your involvement, we really want to give you a chance to really explore new things. So we have 20 Division I athletic programs, club level sports and intramurals, as well as strong arts programs, theater. We've got some Greek life and honor society, service work, campus ministry, that's ever growing. So just talk to me and let me know what you're interested in, either that you've already explored or you want to try new. Our students, they're quite dynamic, and our goal here is to make sure that they can continue that and find that next step in their life. So we do see that 97% of our graduates from the class of 2019, within 6 months of that graduation date, they were already employed full-time, had gone on for additional education, or either committed to the armed forces or a volunteer-based program like the Jesuit Volunteer Corps or Teach for America. So we are here to help you figure that out. We don't expect you to have that all kind of lined up and prepared for yourself. We say this because when we review you for admission, we are looking for the well-roundedness that you present and your interest and passions to explore new fields. So You do not need to know. If you do know, that's great. Let me talk you through it as well. But you're admitted to all three colleges, the Hobbs School of Business, the School of Health Studies and Education, and Arts and Sciences Hobb, and then Health and Education. Just to highlight a few, we have some pretty unique majors such as food marketing, entrepreneurship and family business. We do have an actuarial science program, which helps you to get through the first 3 of 10 actuarial programs, autism behavioral studies, and then an ever-growing number of minors and new programs to add. So I'm not going to focus on that today because you can look it up online and then follow up with me and we can talk through those programs. But just know most students are leaving the university with more than just a major, typically a double major or multiple minors. It's your education. We just want to be there to support you and help you to find the things that make you really come to life. Or as St. Ignatius once said, set the world on fire. I'm going to put these up for you, but just know that I'm going to be here to help you through the application and financial aid process. We do offer early decision as well as early action. Both will provide an admission decision before the new year of your senior year. So apply by November 1st, hear back December 25th, and then we work together to figure it all out, or apply a little bit later and we'll take care of you just as much. But when you apply, you are not required to have SAT or ACT scores. I look at that well-roundedness. So it's not just your cumulative grade point average, but the progress you've made throughout your years. You guys go to a massive high school with a lot of great programs. I don't expect you all to be the top of your class, nor do I expect you to have every single AP class on your transcript. Tell me the journey, show me the journey. And if it's not clear in your transcript, let's talk through it, because we do need to kind of take into account the outside factors that may have had a negative impact on your overall academics. Outside of that, you just need a transcript and a letter of recommendation at a minimum, and you can use the Common App or the St. Joseph's app. I don't care which. Please just take some time to write your essay and do something meaningful, because I will be reading that and learning as much as I can about you. Now, if you want to know more, my information will be in the chat in a moment, but I also welcome you to come and visit us. We do have in-person tours Monday through Friday. We also have virtual options and a self-guided tour if you're in the Philadelphia area. But I want to thank you all for joining us tonight. And if you have any questions, either reach out today with Q&A or just follow up with me through the email address I will put in the chat.
Great, thank you. All great information shared so far. And our last representative, but certainly not least, is from Reed College.
Awesome. Welcome, everyone. My name is Dev DeVrat. I use he, him pronouns, and I'm an assistant dean of admissions here at Reed College, located in the wonderful Pacific Northwest, specifically Portland, Oregon. Reed College, who are we? We're a small private liberal arts school here in the southeast quadrant of Portland. So we're not in downtown proper. We're about 5 to 7 minutes away from the city center of Portland, but we're in a pretty quiet residential area. There's tons of houses and apartments around us, so definitely a pretty quiet area. There's a really beautiful rhododendron garden across the street from us, so you can definitely expect to have a little bit of both, that suburban but urban experience. We have about 1,400 students hailing from all 50 US states in about 44 different countries, so tons of global representation, all here at Reed. We're an institution where people come because they love to learn. They love to challenge ideas and ask those tough questions and really get a front row seat in their learning experience. As a matter of fact, most of our classes at Reed are taught in a conference-style learning environment. So you don't have a professor lecturing at you for 2 to 3 hours at a time, but instead, you're all sitting on a table and you're really unpacking the content and the material as a group. So we really try to build that community in the classroom experience. We actually even cap most of our classes so they don't go above a certain number, because we want you to get that personalized educational attention. Your professors are going to get to know you by name and face. Your peers are going to get to know you by name and face. Whether that's a good thing or not, that's up to you to decide. But you are going to get that personalized educational attention. As a matter of fact, our professors don't even go by, Professor so-and-so or Dr. so-and-so. They all go by first name basis. So we really try to bridge that gap between that hierarchy. We also build community through the campus life. We have 90 different clubs and organizations on campus, so tons of things to do. We've got interest-based clubs, so everything like the Film Collective. Cheese Club is our biggest club on campus. It sounds exactly like what it is. They talk about cheese, they study cheese, they eat cheese. They even have vegan cheese because we're all about that diversity and inclusion. We have academic-based clubs, so things like the creative writing club, the physics club, and then we have identity-based clubs on campus, like the Black Student Union, the Queer Student Union. We have, like I said, a total of 90 different clubs, so tons of ways to build community. You can also build community on campus outside of the clubs and organizations. The college plans tons of activities. If you really enjoy hiking, Portland and the Pacific Northwest is a place to be. Our outdoors program will take you outdoors, obviously, on hikes and camping trips. We even have a cabin that the college owns up on Mount Hood that students can access for free. It's just like checking out a textbook from the library. You can check out the cabin for as long as you want, and you can go skiing and snowboarding. We even have all that equipment so you don't even have to buy your own. We have some of the highest rated classroom experiences in the country. We also have the highest, we also are in the top 10 across almost every single subject in terms of grad school acceptance rates. To give you a great example, usually medical school acceptance rates in the US is around 11%. Reed students have about an 80% acceptance rate into medical school. So we do a lot to really prepare students. We're a really rigorous institution. We're among one of the most rigorous institutions in the US, but we're also really supportive. We don't do this whole competitiveness that a lot of really rigorous schools can often have, because we want to make this as supportive of an environment as possible. We have a nuclear reactor on campus. It's powerful enough to power an entire microwave. So it is purely an academic tool. Any student can get trained in that of the nuclear reactor. You don't even have to be a STEM major. Last year, our lead operator was a history major, and we actually produced the most number of female identifying nuclear reactor operators out of anywhere in the entire world. We do have 3 application rounds that you can choose from. We have early action, early decision, and regular decision, and we are test blind. So even if you took your SATs, whether you took them or not, we're not looking at them. So you don't even have to send us your scores. And then lastly, we do meet 100% demonstrated, or excuse me, we do meet 100% financial need for every single admitted student. Doesn't matter if you're international, doesn't matter if you're a domestic student, doesn't matter if you're a transfer student, maybe you're homeschooled, does not matter. We meet 100% demonstrated need for every single admitted student at Reed. So we have some of the most generous financial aid packages as well. I'm going to put my contact information in the chat box here momentarily. It's also right above my head. So if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out. I'm always happy to chat. If I can take a break from staring at a spreadsheet to talk to a student, I definitely will. So please make sure you reach out if you have any questions. Thanks, everyone.
Awesome, thank you. All great information again shared, and hope that it was really helpful to hear directly from each school that shared tonight. We do have a bit of time left, so at this point we're going to go ahead and pivot into our Q&A portion of this session. So I invite all our representatives to please turn on their cameras to get ready to unmute themselves, and we're going to dive into our question here, which is, what advice would you give someone going through the college search process? Again, what advice would you give someone going through the college search process? And we'll go ahead and get started in the same order in which you all presented in.
Sounds great. Thank you so much, Catherine. And thank you everyone once again for sitting and listening to what we have to say about our different schools. So probably my best piece of advice, especially during a year like this one and after a year like last one, is make sure that you are focusing on the things that are within your control. And for the things that are outside of your control, do your best to just manage the things that you can handle on a daily basis. So make sure that you are challenging yourself within your academic experience, but don't stress if you haven't been able to play on your club soccer team the same way that you have been. Make sure that you are handing your assignments in on time and engaging in your classes in this virtual space, but don't stress about the fact that you may not have been able to study or prep for a standardized test in the same kind of way. This is supposed to be an exciting and a really enthusiastic kind of process in which you are going to be learning a lot about yourself and a lot about who you want to be. And it's not a direct reflection of you as a person, but we're here to be a great support system for you guys no matter what. But my best advice really is make sure that you only focus on the things that you can control, not the things that you can't.
Catherine, are you able to put Mark's video
Yes.
back on?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yep, that's what I'm doing. Thanks. Are you?
Thanks. Yep.
Yep, good.
Okay. Thanks for doing that.
Yeah, no problem.
I wasn't able to listen too closely to what Maddie was saying because I was trying to get my video working, but there's so many things you can think about when you're going through your college search process. I think it's important to listen to what other people say, but also listen to your heart. You know yourself better than anyone else does. You know better what type of environment you're going to be happiest in, what things about a college or university are really going to make a difference to you. It is important to try to visit campuses. And I know this past year with the pandemic, that's been especially difficult. And a video or virtual visit is definitely not the same as an actual campus visit. But hopefully if things become better and they seem to be moving in that direction, try to take advantage of the opportunity to visit campuses, because it's one thing to fall in love with a website. It's another thing to actually spend time on a campus and say, yes, this is a place I would be comfortable calling home for the next 4 or 5 years. Thank you.
Hello again. So my advice would be to enjoy the process. Everything happens so fast and we don't really get to live in the moment, especially right now being in the heat of or a pandemic altogether. So I do recommend that, like, don't worry too much about, like, everything that you have going on. Take it one day at a time. I always have, my mom always told me this thing, like, how do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. So just take your time, enjoy the process. You're going to get into college, you're going to do well, and we're happy to welcome you on our campus, in the fall. Thanks.
This is really hard for me as a former college counselor. I want to say a lot of things, but I would say make sure that you're envisioning yourself as who you want to be, not necessarily who you are right now, because your fit may not be your fit in high school. And to make sure that you like your whole list. Every year I would work with students who would come into my office with 2 or 3 choices around March and April. Say, I don't know where I'm going to go. I don't like them. Why did you apply to schools you didn't like? There are 3,000 colleges and universities in the United States. So as much time as the application is going to take you, spend even more time researching the colleges. Go on Niche, go on CapEx, check out their websites, raise your hand and say you want more information so they can send you better information and special opportunities. But the research part should take the longest amount of time, because every school on that list, from Reach to Most Possible, has to be a school you'd be really excited to attend.
I know we talk a lot about like admission and getting in, and it sounds like we're being very critical of you. The key is you need to be critical of us. You need to make sure that we are serving your needs and supporting you. Are we there to be a community that will embrace you, or are we kind of pushing you away? Be critical about us and judge us. Okay, we want to make sure that you are finding your home, your next step. So just know we are admission counselors. We are counseling you to get in. Anybody that is telling you that they're counseling you to get out, to deny you, do you want to be their friend? I don't. I want to be friends with the people that are surrounding me here today, that are welcoming me, engaging me, and making me feel supported and welcome and loved.
I'll keep mine quick. I know we're out of time here, but I 100% agree with everything all my colleagues have said. The only thing I would add is ask questions. Ask all of the questions. Ask everybody the questions. Ask current students questions. Ask your admissions counselors questions. Ask the cafeteria folks questions. This is going to be your home for the next 4 years. You want to make sure you're going to enjoy that experience. Do not be afraid to ask questions. Make sure you get everything answered.
And I couldn't agree more with all the advice shared. The representatives are here. They're here to answer your questions, to be used as a resource as stated. And so we're happy to know that. And again, reach out if any questions come up later. But thank you to our representatives. Thank you for all the information, for being here. And thank you to each of you for joining us. We have now reached the conclusion of this session, but as we close, there will be a very quick 4-question survey that will appear on your browser. If you don't mind taking a moment to fill that out for us, your feedback would be greatly appreciated. There are more sessions happening. This is one of many college presentations being offered tonight, so feel free to sign up for more at the same place where you registered for this one. And lastly, all sessions are being recorded and will be available at strivescan.com/Brooklyn Tech. Again, thank you all and have a great night.